Here's something that might surprise you. Scientists believe the secret to reversing aging could be hidden inside your cells, specifically in tiny protective caps at the end of your DNA called telomeres. Every time your cells divide, your telomeres shrink, and when they become too short, your cells stop working properly. They grow old, break down, and die. In other words, telomeres are like a built-in biological clock, counting down your lifespan one tick at a time. But here's the mind-blowing part. New research suggests we may actually be able to lengthen telomeres, and in doing so, slow down or even reverse aspects of aging itself. Sounds like science fiction, right? But the breakthroughs are real. From Nobel Prize-winning discoveries to cutting-edge experiments, scientists are getting closer than ever to hacking the aging process. So, what exactly are telomeres? How do they control aging? And is it truly possible to reset our biological clock? Today on Spin of Facts, we're diving deep into, could we reverse aging? The science of telomeres and aging cells? Trust me, this is one journey into your own body you don't want to miss. And don't forget to subscribe to Spin of Facts for more science-backed insights into the mysteries of life and the universe. Setting the stage, why aging happens in the first place. Before we talk about reversing aging, let's understand why we age at all. Unlike machines that wear down from rust or friction, our bodies age because of changes at the cellular level. Every cell in your body carries your DNA, and every time a cell divides, it has to copy that DNA. But here's the catch. DNA strands can't be copied perfectly forever. At the ends of each strand are telomeres, repetitive sequences of DNA that act like protective caps. Imagine them as the plastic tips at the ends of shoelaces, preventing them from fraying. Each time a cell divides, telomeres get shorter. Eventually, they become too short to protect the DNA, and the cell either stops dividing or dies. This process is called cellular senescence, and it's one of the fundamental drivers of aging. In other words, aging isn't just about gray hair or wrinkles. It's about your cells slowly running out of time. What are telomeres exactly? Telomeres are repetitive DNA sequences, basically long chains of the letters T, T, A, G, G, G that sit at the ends of chromosomes. Think of your chromosomes as books of genetic instructions. Telomeres are like the blank pages at the end of the book. Every time you copy the book, a few blank pages are lost, but the story itself is preserved. Without telomeres, important parts of the DNA would be lost with each division. But once telomeres get too short, the protective buffer is gone, and that's when the problems begin. Research has shown that people with longer telomeres tend to live healthier, longer lives. Shorter telomeres, on the other hand, are linked to age-related diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and even Alzheimer's. So the question is, can we keep telomeres long or even make them longer? The role of telomerase, the enzyme that defies aging. Back in the 1980s, scientists discovered something groundbreaking, an enzyme called telomerase that can actually rebuild telomeres. Here's how it works. Normally, telomeres shrink with every cell division, but telomerase acts like a repair crew, adding DNA back to the ends of chromosomes, effectively resetting the clock. The discovery was so revolutionary that it won the 2009 Nobel Prize in medicine. In fact, in certain cells like stem cells, reproductive cells, and cancer cells, telomerase is very active. That's why these cells can keep dividing far longer than normal ones. The big challenge? In most of our cells, telomerase is switched off. That's part of nature's way of preventing uncontrolled growth, because when telomerase runs wild, it can also fuel cancer. So the holy grail of aging research is this. How do we safely turn telomerase back on, just enough to slow aging, without causing dangerous side effects? Telomeres and real-life anti-aging experiments. This is where things get fascinating. Around the world, scientists are already experimenting with ways to protect and even lengthen telomeres. Mice studies. In Spain, researchers activated telomerase in mice, and the results were stunning. The mice lived longer, stayed healthier, and even reversed some signs of aging. Human cells in the lab. In petri dishes, scientists have successfully lengthened human telomeres, effectively making old cells behave like young ones again. Lifestyle factors. Believe it or not, studies by Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn, a Nobel Prize winner, found that lifestyle choices like diet, exercise, stress reduction, and even meditation can naturally slow telomere shortening. This means that while we wait for futuristic therapies, we already have tools to protect our telomeres right now. The lifestyle connection. How to protect your telomeres. You don't need a lab to start caring for your telomeres. Research shows several everyday habits make a big difference. Balanced diet, antioxidant-rich foods, berries, nuts, leafy greens, protect telomeres from oxidative stress. Exercise. Moderate regular activity is linked to longer telomeres and better overall health. Stress management. Chronic stress floods the body with cortisol, which accelerates telomere shortening. Practices like yoga or deep breathing help. Quality sleep. Poor sleep is strongly associated with shorter telomeres. Rest is literally anti-aging at the cellular level. Avoid smoking and excess alcohol. Both dramatically speed up telomere loss. In other words, healthy habits don't just make you feel younger. They literally help keep your DNA younger. The cutting edge. Gene therapy and telomere science beyond lifestyle. Scientists are exploring futuristic ways to directly target telomeres. Gene therapy. Researchers are experimenting with delivering telomerase genes into cells to restore telomere length. Early animal studies show promise, but safety remains a huge question. Small molecule drugs. Some compounds are being tested that may gently activate telomerase without causing cancerous growth. CRISPR technology. The gene editing tool, CRISPR, is being investigated as a way to precisely control telomerase activity. We're not there yet, but the progress is moving fast. Many experts believe the first telomere-based therapies for aging could appear within the next few decades. The dark side of telomeres. Of course, there's a flip side. Remember cancer cells? They're basically immortal because they hijack telomerase to keep dividing uncontrollably. That means any attempt to activate telomerase in humans comes with a huge risk. Are we slowing aging or are we fueling cancer? This is why telomere research is one of the most carefully studied and controversial areas of medicine. The line between reversing aging and creating runaway cell growth is razor thin. Could we really reverse aging? Here's the big question. Can we actually turn back the clock? The answer so far, partially, yes. We can't make ourselves immortal, but studies suggest we may be able to extend Healthspan, the number of years we live free of disease. Instead of living to 120 in frailty, we could live to 90 or 100 in good health with strong minds and bodies. And telomeres are at the heart of this possibility. They may not hold the secret to eternal youth, but they may help unlock a future where aging is slower, gentler, and healthier. Bonus fact, the oldest humans in telomeres. Here's something fascinating. The world's oldest verified human, Jean Calment, lived to 122 years. Studies show that supercentenarians like her often have longer than average telomeres, suggesting that genetics plays a huge role. But genetics is only part of the picture. Lifestyle choices can add years, maybe even decades to your biological clock, proving that aging isn't just destiny, it's something we can influence. So could we really reverse aging? We're closer than ever. Telomeres, the tiny caps on your DNA, may hold the secret to slowing the clock and keeping our bodies healthier for longer. But here's the big question. Should we push forward with telomere therapies despite the risks, or focus on lifestyle choices that already protect our DNA? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if this dive into aging science sparked your curiosity, subscribe to Spin of Facts and share with a friend.